Secularization and mission, something that a century ago we might not have dreamed discussing as a part of missiology. But here we are, paradigms happen, and so shifts happen, and here we are. Secularization, this idea that society no longer is influenced as much by religion, and therefore individuals are not as much influenced by it. So what does that mean? Well, we will see different signs of secularization of society. We see a decrease in church attendance or any kind of formal religious affiliation. So to be sure, secularization does not just affect Christianity, it affects all forms of religion, in particular in the West, but we see it globally as well. And we see an increase in secular humanism, doing good to our fellow humans. And so we call this post-Christendom phenomena. So you see less of it affects government decisions and policies. Christendom, doesn't really give as much shape to cultural norms, and so we see a shift. Peter Berger, a famous sociologist, says, it's not modernity that leads to secularity or secularization. It produces pluralism, this idea that things can coexist side by side. Incidentally, secularization doesn't lead to atheism. It probably leads to indifference. People go, it's okay. I was born and raised in the Netherlands until I was in my early 20s, and we used to joke that the national religion of the Netherlands was tolerance. You could say indifference. What's good for you is great. Just don't tell me to do it. So pluralism is the coexistence of different worldviews and different norms and values, but in the same system. So how does it relate to doing mission? Well, maybe we need to focus on reconnecting with communities and secular societies. Rather than opening our doors of our church and say, y'all come on in, maybe it's good to say, how can we connect with society if society is less under the influence of Christendom or less under the influence of religion? So a couple of thoughts. First of all, let's be willing to learn. Let's not hide from it, but listen. One thing that has proven really helpful is using art as a key. And art can have all sorts of religious overtones and can really share a message. So see what society cares about and use art. What a beautiful route. Make sure that cultural diverse communities are built and be a part of it. Some people would say build inclusive communities. Well, that depends on where you stand on this. You may be very comfortable with it, and others may not. So, like I said, we don't have to agree with everything in this course, but these are recommendations and will be absorbed differently in different denominations. As we've seen before in our social justice section, we can collaborate with local organizations that may be secular on community development projects. Habitat for Humanity is a wonderful place. They build houses for people, and it's a great place to connect with people in the community and do something good. And so some people are as comfortable as doing this with other faith groups or doing this with secular, and to not be out there to convert other people, but to be an integral part of society and let relationships guide the way. So something else that you can do is to find common ground. Sometimes we have similar ethical and social views, actually, that bind together people that are indifferent about things, that have pluralistic views, that are secular, if you will, and people who are religious, who are followers of Jesus. And we can actually connect on things that we hold in common. And then over time, find things to talk about. Let your life speak, and find a place to actually be a witness. So, in short, that means be missional, be on mission through your life, be incarnational, and start a church in the community rather than having a church outside of the community and have people drive to it. Start a church in the community. A lot of sociologists, a lot of mission organizations would say this is the way to encounter secularism. It's a challenge. All right. Missional living.